Initially, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress were on the same side during the Lok Sabha elections. Now, the question for the Congress really is, who is the bigger enemy? The harder Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party gun after Kejriwal and try and bring the AAP down, the better it is for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the BJP would like nothing better than the Congress to rise from the 4% that it fell to, because many of those would potentially be AAP voters who might be going back to the Congress. So is the Congress really the biggest threat to the Aam Aadmi Party's re-election chances? To talk about this, I'm joined on this broadcast by Sardar R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have with us on this broadcast Sanjay Jha, a political analyst and commentator who leans towards the Congress. I have Priyanka Kakkar, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. And I have Amitabh Tiwari, who's been running some numbers with us and simulations for the India Today Data Intelligence Unit. And I'll take you through what could happen in different scenarios basis the extent to which the Congress rises or does not rise. Sanjay Jha, from the kind of moves that we've seen from the likes of Sandeep Dikshit, Ajay Makhan earlier, and now Rahul Gandhi, it seems the grand old party has decided that pehle Aam Aadmi Party ko girao. It's a reminiscent of the Kanchiram strategy that you first, trip your most immediate enemy, recover lost ground, and then in future elections, when it's Congress versus BJP and after the BJP has been in power for a while, let their anti-incumbency build up in the hope that you can pull Delhi back from the BJP. Is that really, frankly, the strategy you think the Congress is working towards in this election?
Well, Rahul, what is the truth? The truth is that the entire Congress vote share moved to the Aam Aadmi Party. The India Against Corruption was targeted at the UPA, and with the Congress being verified as a corrupt party, it was the Aam Aadmi Party's basic foundation for its political fortunes. So what you are seeing today in the Congress is a resurrection of the hope that after a couple of disastrous obliteration in Delhi, people see an opportunity of a certain bounce back. And I think in a great number of ways, that is a political reality that the Congress needs to now confront. That you may be part of the India alliance along with the AAP at the national level. They even had an alliance for Delhi. But the bottom line is, if the party were to get its act together in Delhi, it can't be at the expense of the BJP, which has a very core and a stable vote share that doesn't seem to change. So the only way for the Congress to grow is in a zero-sum game with the AAP, is to gain votes that it has lost to the AAP. And therefore, you're going to find the campaign more acerbic, a lot more vitriolic, definitely ad hominem, because the attack will be on Arvind Kejriwal and all the allegations against his government. But I also feel tactically it's a good thing for both AAP and the Congress, because if they were in an alliance, I think it would have benefited the BJP considerably. So both from the point of view of real politics, how will it work out in terms of the election? I think a battle, even if it's a bitter and vicious battle between AAP and the Congress, is good for both of them.
You think this is
in
good?
Fact, the BJP
the fact though is, and I want to show you 4 scenarios in terms of what happens when the vote share of the Congress goes up and where the Congress pulls that vote share from. So I'll pull that out on our screen right now. And we'll take you through the seat share simulations that have been done by the Data Intelligence Unit along with Amitabh Tiwari, and then try and talk about them for a moment. So this is the actual scenario from the last assembly election. 62 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 8 for the BJP, and none for the Congress. Now, if the Congress goes up by 5% and the AAP comes down by 5%, remember, the Congress doesn't really pull any seats because they're only at 4, so they go up only to 9. They don't pull any seats, but that brings the AAP tally down to 52 and the BJP jumps from 8 to 18. I'll give you the second scenario. If the Congress jumps up by 10% from 4 to 15 and the Aam Aadmi Party comes down from 54 to 45, the AAP is still in the lead, but then it's not as massive a lead, 60 plus kind of lead that they had the last time. It is then just 47 for the Aam Aadmi Party and 23 for the BJP. And remember, even here in the second scenario, the Congress doesn't open its account in the capital. So the Congress is still at 0, even if it gets to 15% vote share. Let me give you scenario number 3. This is where the Congress gains and the AAP is losing. Remember, the Aam Aadmi Party has voters who are originally Congress voters, and it has a lot of switch voters from the BJP, voters who vote for the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections but switch to the Aam Aadmi Party in the assembly context. So if the Congress were to gain 2.5%, the BJP were to gain 2.5%, and the AAP were to come down by 5% from its 54%, then the AAP is at 51%, the BJP at 19%. Let me give you the fourth scenario, which is what the Aam Aadmi Party would not want should happen in any case. If the AAP comes down by 10%, and some of these votes are from the Congress, say 5%, and BJP 5%, so if the AAP is losing voters both to the BJP and to the Congress, then the BJP in that scenario, they just need to go up by 5%. They go to 39%, and the Aam Aadmi Party slips to 31%. So, Amitabh Tiwari, it is contingent on the AAP's re-election chances that they manage to hold on to not just those Congress Sheila Dikshit voters who switched to Kejriwal, but also the switch BJP voter who voted for Modi, voted for the BJP in the Lok Sabha. They have to hold on to both to be, it looks like they won very big, but unlike other parties, the AAP doesn't have a core caste base. They don't have a vote bank which is fixed and associated around their identity like the BSP or the SP, and therefore they need a lot of these switching, floating voters to stay with the AAP Kejriwal bandwagon to be able to cross the magic figure.
Yeah, so essentially the Aam Aadmi Party has a core vote base of only around 20 to 25%, and it is dependent upon a borrowed vote base around 15% from the Congress party and 15% from the BJP, which move from these two parties in Lok Sabha elections to Vidhan Sabha elections. And we've seen that happening in two cycles now, 2014-15 and 2019-20. Now these 15% voters are with BJP in 2024 Lok Sabha election and 15% with Congress. Now the Congress voters are easy to transfer to Aam Aadmi Party because they are primarily anti-BJP votes. And the other 15% is primarily the middle class voter who shifts from BJP to Aam Aadmi Party because of the brand Kejriwal and brand Modi likeness. The graphs which you showed on the four scenarios clearly showed two things. Whatever Congress gains is likely to come at the expense of the Aam Aadmi Party because that is a very complementary type of vote share. Congress used to be at 48% vote share. It has fallen to 4%, and Aam Aadmi Party has risen to 54%. But only Congress denting Aam Aadmi Party is not going to help BJP win the elections, because conceptually, theoretically also, a party number 2 will have to make a dent in the party number 1 vote share. That's why the scenario 4 is interesting, because not only Congress is gaining at the expense of the Aam Aadmi Party in that scenario, which could be the minority and a section of the Dalit voters, but also BJP would need to make a dent of around 5%. That could be anti-incumbency vote, that could be middle class voters holding on to the BJP because they see now Aam Aadmi Party as not a party with a difference. So both these strategies will need to work. Congress damaging AAP and BJP also damaging at the core of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is largely the middle class voter.
Priyanka Kakkad, does the Aam Aadmi Party publicly accept, I know privately what your party's views are, but publicly accept that the Congress and the attacks that Rahul Gandhi was showing, all the filthiness in the capital, attacking Kejriwal, saying that he's really like the Prime Minister, could all of this, particularly amongst the core Sheila Dikshit Congress vote bank, say the Dalits, the Juggis, the minorities, are you concerned that where you've had a very strong consolidation, it doesn't need to be a big en masse switch, just getting 10% of the voters away, the Congress goes up from 4 to 15 and the AAP suddenly looks far more vulnerable than it is at the moment?
Rahul Kawalji, good evening to you and all your viewers. I think, I think that anyone who's in Delhi connected to the ground knows that the battle is between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. I also think that it is a little too late. I mean, you know, we are fighting a machinery like the BJP, and they work, I mean, we have to give it to them. They work hard. They also have all corrupt practices at their command. ना वो पैसा बांटने से चूकते हैं, ना गोल्ड बांटने से चूकते हैं. They also indulge in vote manipulation. They also do voter addition and deletion, while we are ensuring that all of that does not happen in Delhi, because it is said in Maharashtra also, and after Lok Sabha 40 lakh voters were added. So we have been cautious and mindful of all of this. We are fighting a very big machinery, and to fight them one has to be very connected with the ground constantly. And I thought that for the alliance, BJP was the bigger enemy, right? And now suddenly, if you go on one Nala, obviously if you click a picture of a Nala, the Nala will show. I think this is Congress's arrogance, which the results of which were visible in Maharashtra or Haryana or in the past 10 years.
No,
I
but there's a
think the Delhi
difference,
voter is
Priyanka
also
Kakkar.
very-
Frankly, I'm sorry. Yours is a very generic answer. The fact is, in Maharashtra and in Haryana, they were fighting to win. Here they are fighting to trip their opponents over. AAP came, uprooted the Congress. The Congress this time round seems to be trying to uproot the AAP. They know they have no hope of winning. You can't go from 4% to winning an election. That's highly improbable. But they know that if they put enough of effort, put up a strong enough fight, it's the AAP which will come down. That's your challenge and your problem.
Rahulji, with all humility at my command, I think you know the kind of machinery that the BJP one has to fight, and the kind of work that is required, and the kind of things that we had to do. So suddenly from 4%, you gave three scenarios yourself. What should I say? There's not much that needs to be said after that. I think even BJP, in fact, is on a back foot here in Delhi, because till date they have not been able to announce the 70 candidates or a CM candidate. And you'll recall that they always announced Kiran Bedi, or they announced Madan Lal Khurana, or they announced Dr. Harshvardhan, but there is no CM face this time. What does that say? So there is a very strong contender, Arvind Kejriwal ji, because he has worked constantly for the people of Delhi, has constantly been connected. We have a participative form of governance, and a stark example of that is, say, the SMCs of the school. And somebody who's always connected to the ground, I would think you need a very strong opponent in front of them. The BJP also lacks that. So who is the contender from BJP, for example?
Okay, RP Singh, this is a question that Kejriwal seems to be asking every morning, noon and night. Dulha kahan hai, dulha kahan hai? They show the horse without a bridegroom on it. Do you think this will impact those BJP voters who vote for BJP in the Lok Sabha but switch to the Aam Aadmi Party in the Assembly? The AAP's hope is that they'll come back again this time round, regardless of what happened in June.
राहुल, आपका दूल्हा तो शराब की बोतल है. एक के साथ एक फ्री मिलती थी, उसी से मिनी बार बना लिया. So that's what, whenever the people sees Kejriwal face, they are reminded of the liquor scam and liquor vents outside gurdwaras, temples, schools, colleges, and then they are reminded of that. So God bless them. Please keep projecting that Durla, which reminds people of the scam which has been done. That reminds people of the pot seats which are worth 12 lakh rupees, which are in Sheesh Mahal, or also reminds them of 15 crore rupees water purifier, which was placed
No, but can I pause you to ask, RP Singh, you're putting so much energy into this Sheesh Mahal issue. What gives you the confidence that it is connecting? How are you tracking that this Sheesh, because that seems to be the linchpin of your attack offensive against the Aam Aadmi Party. What makes you sure that Sheesh Mahal is tracking in the way that you want?
Well, Rahul, I'll send you a video immediately after the debate that will clarify your doubts about the connect of the Sheesh Mahal. I just placed a pot seat in one of my clusters, and a child came forward, and it's very natural. He said, "Arey, ye to Sheesh Mahal wali pot seat hai." They know that what is Sheesh Mahal and what is the corruption behind Sheesh Mahal. But coming to the issue of Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party, sorry, my apologies. Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party. Just 6 months ago, they were together. Mr. Kejriwal was campaigning for Mr. Kanhaiya Kumar in Delhi. And also, you said 6 months. Just check on what is happening in Chandigarh. Ask Priyanka Kakkar, are they fighting against each other in Chandigarh for the mayor election, or are they together in mayor election? Well, this reminds me of the parliament election. Mohali mein Anban or Chandigarh mein Adgat. So that's what they are. I mean, today they are fighting against each other. Tomorrow they will be together again, because it's the vote bank which is more important to them. And for that they can go to an election for a while, but ultimately they'll join hands. how can we forget Mr. Kejriwal used to stand outside Mr. Rahul Gandhi's house to have to seek a meeting with him. So this is all hogwash that, I mean,
Okay.